Greetings, YouTube. All of us have to face truths. Sometimes the truth is hidden from us and we discover it later. Sometimes the truth is hidden from ourselves because we don't want to think about it. But we have to face them. But sometimes it is easier to believe the lie, whether it's very trivial. I really do look good in that shirt, when in actuality you don't. But you want to believe that, so you do. No, I'm not shaming you for your wardrobe. To wear what you want to wear. But we believe comfortable lies, like we are fundamentally a good people. We are fundamentally fair. We are fundamentally just. When that is a fiction that can only be believed if you've never been put into a position to have to experience what it is to be treated unfairly or unjustly by the systems that exist. Because the systems that exist were built to help the people that look just like you. I didn't face the reality that the system has been stacked against women because I'm not a woman. I didn't have to face the reality that the system is stacked against black people because I'm not black, or that the system is stacked against gay people because I'm not gay, or the fact that the system is stacked against trans people because I'm cis. I didn't have to face any of those things. I could live in a bubble of ignorance, of privilege, because none of those things affected me. My life was never curtailed. It was never retarded by any of those things. It was never held back, which is one of the definitions of the word retard. But those things are still real. And those things still affected millions of people just in my country every single day. Hundreds of millions in the case of women who have always been treated as second-class citizens and right now are having their bodily autonomy stripped away from them. But it's easy to believe those comfortable lies. But you have to ask yourself, what comfort did the lie bring to you? What hard truth were you able to avoid because of the comforting lie? Was it just easier to think that the system is fair rather than learn the truth about racism in America, about the genocide that we have committed against the indigenous people of this continent, about the oppression we have imposed upon non-Christians? Is it just easier to pretend that you live in this ideal narrative, I guess? Because that's what it is. It's not reality. It's just easier. It just doesn't cause you as much stress and strain and tension and anxiety if you just don't think about it. If you just believe that comfortable lie. But you can't. Whether that's the personal lie that Father Brown at the church, next door, well, he wouldn't do what people have rumored said he did. Well, yeah, if that rumor exists, it might exist for a reason. And maybe you want to face up to the fact that Father Brown really does like to spend a little bit too much time alone with the altar boys. Or, Sally down that owns that flower shop, she would never underpay her employees. I just don't believe that she'd, steal their wages when in actuality that's what Sally's doing. Or I bought my house here. I paid a fair price for it. Anyone who wants to live in my neighborhood, who wants to pay a fair price for it, can live here. And yet everyone in your neighborhood is white. So is that the truth? Can everyone live in your neighborhood if they pay a fair price? What's a fair price? Who set that price? Did they set it up so that only the folks that make us have a certain economic power can achieve it? Did they make sure that the whole bunch of people that didn't look like you would never have that level of economic power so that they could live in that neighborhood? Did you look at the covenant that you signed when you bought that property? Did it say anything in there about this house never being resold to black people or Jews? They exist in America. Go look it up. Rip that particular comfortable truth away and look at the lie and look at the truth beneath it. We believe too many comfortable lies because we don't want to believe the truth. And whenever you do that, whenever you encounter the fact that you have, in fact, up until this point in your life, believed in a comfortable lie, you have to ask yourself, why? Why did you believe it? What did it do for you so that you didn't have to face something? Because the thing that you haven't faced is hurting people, is holding them back, could very well be killing them. And your comfort isn't worth their suffering. Your comfort isn't worth someone else not having rights, not having freedoms, not having life. You have to be out there and accepting and looking at the world around you, at the truths and at the suffering that is going on. Because once you accept reality, once you learn about what is actually going around in the world about you, then you can set about making things right. Then you can start asking politicians, how come that black person can't afford to live in my neighborhood? And start following the steps backwards until you find out the truth. Why is it that that person comes from a family without generational wealth? Why was that family put into a position where they don't have generational wealth? And you keep going back, because at the end of that particular line of reasoning is called white supremacy. And it's existed on this continent for as long as white people have, who showed up, began to kill off the indigenous people, and began to ship in human slaves to do work that they didn't want to. But we don't want to face that. We'd like to just live behind that comfortable lie instead of moving it aside and seeing the ugly truth in front of us. It's not easy. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes research. It takes hard staring into the mirror. But you can do it. You don't have to live within that comfortable lie. Whether it's a lie you've told yourself about a partner that, no, they won't hit me again. Or a parent, no, it's okay. They're telling me that I'm bad at everything because they want me to be better. Those are lies too. So whether it's personal or it's the political, we're all better off if we face the truth, even if it's ugly, even if it hurts to look at. Because no matter how much it makes you uncomfortable, it's a whole lot worse to the people who have been killed by those comforting lies. Stop believing in the comforting lies. Start facing the truth. Save yourself. Save your neighbor. Save it all.